Okay then, so it looks like we can move further ahead now in our presentation. Now we're going to have a look at again a new-ish item. This was released at 2014 R2. It's Edgecam's solid modelling system inside workflow. So again, another piece of technology exclusive to the workflow environment is this modelling system, which again is free to use for all users. We've got some very interesting and exciting enhancements inside EWS, so let's have a review of those straight away. So the first thing that we see, maybe the most important enhancement, one of the biggest questions asked of us at 2014 R2, was the inclusion of DXF and DWG files. It's very, very common to take a 2D drawing and then take it into a modelling system and begin to convert it into a model. So that's now fully supported in 2015 R1. We are supporting sketch planes. We used to previously support automatic sketch planes on a flat surface. This is now fully supported on a cylindrical surface, and we've also added 2 new commands to make life easier for you. Rather than repeating work, we can now copy and circular array procedures that you've previously created inside EWS. Internal external threads have been added, again very, very important for feature finding. If you have created a diameter, you want to say that's a tap tool or that's an external thread for turning, that's now possible inside EWS. And lastly, a little extra command inside sketching, the ability to just sketch out a polygon. So we've had obviously circles and rectangles. It's just another quick shape command to create a sketch. So there are a couple of other items inside EWS, but let's just go and have a look at this in the flesh. So we're back to Edgecam. I'm going to open up a DWG file, and straight away this is loaded as always into Edgecam. We should know and appreciate that a DXF and a DWG file has come from a third party. We've no idea how they've been created, but one thing we do know is that they'll have layers in them, and that's the first thing that EWS begins to address. So I click EWS, straight away we're into the EWS software. But what you will notice down that left-hand panel is layers, and this gives us the opportunity to dismiss the layers that we're not interested in. So anybody who's worked with DXF and DWG, you'll fully appreciate that there's a lot of information in there that's of no use to us. So now we're nearly down to the bit that we're interested in. This is the upper bit that we're interested in. You can probably recognize this is a turn part, and I'll just identify that this is the area that we want to use. So now we've just probably gone and saved ourselves an hour of sketching because we've been able to import a DXF or a DWG file. So that's a very, very big boost in speed and time. So we'll just revolve this part as we normally do in EWS, and thanks to having the sketch we've been able to evolve that into a solid model. So let's have a look at some of these other enhancements. I did mention the fact that we've got a polygon tool, so that's nice. It's just a quick way of sketching. And as we sketch, obviously we're always asked inside EWS where do you want to position the sketch, and in EWS in previous releases we've been able to just go up to the straight faces, the flat faces, and begin to design on that face. But what you'll now notice is I can go to cylindrical faces. So this gives us certainly an extra option. So we're going to go around, we're going to circular array on that diameter. But the sketch plane can obviously be edited if you wish to do so. We'll just line up on that sketch plane. That's better, I can see what I'm doing now. And we're in the middle of just sketching a polygon, so we'll just sketch away a polygon there. And we'll just do an extrude cut. So again, for those of you who are using 2014 R2 EWS, you're no stranger to the cut extrude command, but there are a new item inside the cut extrude command. You can now create a draft angle, and you can create a corner blend or a chamfer, a radius on the bottom of that blend. So this is again saving time. So it's done within as part of the procedure, and you'll see that on the right hand side. You'll see the fact that this has been added to that right hand side. So I'm not going to repeat that. I want 3 more of them, so that gives me the opportunity to show you the circular pattern command. And so all I do is explain this is the rotation axis and this is the process that I wish to repeat. I'll do that 4 more times. And there we go. So again, with that new command, linear and circular, it's going to save a lot of time where you get repetitions in parts. And finally, I just want to show you the threading command. So the threading command, if I walk up to any diameter, internal or external, Edgecam will begin to create that thread for us. What you may notice is it's actually changing the size of the thread M64 on the small side and M127. And if you didn't have an M127, you could edit and place that new thread inside the thread editor. So we'll just create that, apply, OK. And so now we have that created inside EWS, where we'd obviously would save that and then move it back into Edgecam for machining. Obviously, in terms of Edgecam for machining, we'd be very interested in threads and other areas inside that particular part. So that would feature fine. It'd just be treated in the normal way, whether it be an IPT or a SolidWorks or a PMod file or whatever you care to mention. But what you'll notice is that the thread has now come, that internal thread has now been created inside Edgecam Feature Finder.